Hi there, Ginzburg, #1 best-selling author and digital marketing expert, and welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to talk about reflection. So with 2018 ending and 2019 beginning, this is the perfect time to take a look at your previous year. What did you do in 2018? What were the goals that you set in the previous year? What did you accomplish? So in order to make this a little bit easier, I know that it sounds very vague, and it can be, a little difficult to understand what that looks like in terms of reflection. I have created 15 questions for you to review, and we're going to review in this video together. I'm going to show you some examples and some actual stories from my own life and my own previous year. And these 15 questions are going to allow you to better reflect on what you did in the previous year, because again, without really understanding what you did in 2018, it's very difficult to set goals for 2019. You kind of have to have a benchmark or a baseline before moving forward to the new year. So before we get into these 15 questions, I really would want to give you some basis on how best to do this. So my recommendation would be to set aside an hour to reflect on 2018. So pick a quiet time, whether it's during business hours or maybe early in the morning or later in the evening, when you can take an hour away and you can be away from, let's say, your family, your children, or obligations. It's important to just take an hour for yourself and not have to worry about other things. So use the worksheet that I have on this page. You're going to see a link below. You can download this worksheet for yourself and use it, and we're going to follow along during this video. But then also, please take this worksheet and then go back to the 1 hour and actually reflect on your 2018. Make sure to remove any distractions. So please close down anything on your computer besides the worksheet that we're going to be going through when you're actually sitting down for the 1 hour. And also, my recommendation here would be to silence your phone and put it in the other room. I know a lot of times when we have our phone close by, we have tendencies to, might have a moment and we're like, oh, we're going to grab our phone and we're just going to go on Facebook or social media. I encourage you to put your phone aside and actually put it in the other room, so that way there's not an urge for you to go and grab it, because it's really important to do this without having any distractions. So let's jump into the actual worksheet. So please download the worksheet and follow along with me, and you'll see the instructions at the top. But let's get into the questions. So what are some of the things that you've worked on in 2018? And these 15 questions are going to kind of jog your memory, I think. So the first question is, what single achievement are you most proud of? So for me, my most single achievement that I'm most proud of is that I created a signature course, my big course, in 2018, and I'm going to be launching it in 2019. And so I just kind of give you an example of what's been going in my life in 2018. And I'm just so excited about it. And that's probably my most single amazing achievement that I did in 2018. Which new skills did you learn in 2018? So did you learn how to do sales? Did you learn a new strategy and being productive? So think about the skills that you learned. Number 3, what or who are you most thankful for? And I think it's really good to take a moment and really come up with the gratitude and gratefulness ideas in your mind, because we're going through our life, and we're going through the year, but we really want to also take a moment to be thankful and grateful for everything that happened in 2018. So, I practice a strategy of gratitude in my life when I do meditation. So for me, it's very important to reflect on, what am I grateful for? Number 4, if someone wrote a book about your life in 2018, what would the genre be? So would it be a comedy, a love story, a drama, film noir, or something else? So think about, what was the theme in 2018 for your life? Number 5, what were some of the most important lessons that you learned in 2018? I think this is important to think about, what are the lessons that we all learned in this previous year? So some of the lessons that I learned is to be grateful. I think 2018 was a big one for me in reflecting on what and who I'm grateful for. in my life, because I feel like I didn't really do this in the past, and I feel like it was a lack in my life. Number 6, which mental blocks did you overcome? So what were some of the mental blocks that you had this year, if you had any? So maybe one of the mental blocks for me was productivity. So I haven't really taken productivity always as seriously as I wanted to. And in my mind, this mental block kind of existed for me for a long time, but I got some consulting with a friend of mine, and I feel like that mental block about being the most productive and being the most open and being using the best time of the day for me to get the most productive work done was a mental block that I was able to overcome this year. Number 7, what was the biggest breakthrough moment in your business or your career-wise? So think about what are the things that were the biggest breakthroughs, because it's really important and good to think about, kind of the aha moments in the year. Number 8, what book or movie affected your life in a profound way? Now, for me, it was a book. The book was called Start With Why by Simon Sinek, and I love that book. I highly recommend it. So if you have a chance to review it or read it, please, I would highly look into it. But what was the book that really affected your life and your 2018? Number 9, what did you create this year? Did you create a new company? Was it a new product within your business? Or maybe you created a new business partnership? For me, the thing that I created this year that I'm, again, most proud of is that I created my signature course this year. And so that was definitely a turning point, and the one thing that I'm definitely proud of what I created. But think about what it was for you. Number 10, was there anything you did for the very first time this year? For me, one of the first things that I did this year, as my business has grown, I was able to take a vacation with just having my team manage the whole process and the whole business without having me be around for a week. So that was definitely a big turning point for me as well, because I felt like, last previous years that I've had my business, I couldn't really I could take the time off, but I still had to work during my vacations. So for me, it was a turning point, because I felt like finally I got my business to a point where I don't need to be there all the time, and my team can take care of a lot of the day-to-day things. So number 11, what major goal did you lay the foundations for? So for me, it was going back again to the course. That was a major goal for me in the past year, was to create my signature course. And I have laid down the foundations for it this entire year. And I worked with a few partners on it. I went and actually recorded the course. So that was a big foundational year for me for laying out my course. Number 12, what was the biggest problem that you solved? That's a very good one, because we always have problems in our business as entrepreneurs. So what was something that you solved this year, and how did it help your business? Number 13, what one thing would you do differently and why? So for me, for example, again, going back to my course, just because it's been such a strong turning point and a strong theme in my year for 2018, what I would have done differently is I would have created this probably earlier in the year, so that I would already have this and have the ability and the opportunity to help entrepreneurs with my course and put it out there. So I would have definitely done that differently for a number of reasons. I recorded my course closer to the end of the year instead of the beginning of the year, but that's what I would do differently. But what would you do differently in 2018 if you had the opportunities? Number 14, what new habits did you cultivate? So one of the habits that I got this year is that I've been using an app called Active, and that's a workout app. And so it's a habit for me that I created in order to help me work out more and help me stay accountable. And it's been such an amazing experience for me. I would highly recommend Active. It is a paid app on your phone, but that was the new habit that I created, and it's been going on for the last, I'd say probably the last 5 or 6 months, and it's just been so helpful for me. And the last question, number 15, what advice would you give your early 2018 self if you could? So, if you were to look back about a year ago and it would be early 2018, what would be the advice that you would give yourself? And for me, I think it was, again, going back to the course, I would tell myself, my early self, to really get it done and really work on it as much as I can, and really put it out there. And that would be my advice. But what would be the advice that you would give yourself if if this was beginning of 2018? So these are the 15 questions that will jog your memory and kind of give you the idea and the concepts to reflect back on your 2018. So now it's your turn. So please go through these questions, take the hour and do the exercises and reflect on your previous year. And in the next video, I will be discussing goal setting for 2019 and how to achieve your dreams in the new year. Thank you.